Hey everyone! In this video, we're talking about Puerto Viejo, Costa Rica, and 7 things you might not expect when you go there. But first, my name is Marlie, and I'm a TV news anchor turned nomad, and this channel helps Black women get the latest, greatest, and best information about solo travel, slow travel, or just making travel a lifestyle. I do all the research for you and share it right here, all in one place. If any of that sounds good to you, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when I drop my next video. And you should like this video because I got my braids redone yesterday and I was in the chair for like 7 hours, okay? So I'm here and so are you. So let's get started. So the first time I went to Puerto Viejo, Costa Rica was back in February 2022. Now last year I spent a total of 3 months there. And before I got there, I did all the research, sis. I watched all the videos, I read the blog articles. I'm a journalist, that's what I do. But still, I was not ready. I was not prepared for what I found when I got there. That is why I am bringing you these 7 things you might not expect when you go to Puerto Viejo, Costa Rica. So, number 1, massive Afro-Caribbean vibes. Now, it's along the Caribbean coast, so you might expect that to some extent, but this is next level. Actually, there are more Black people in Limon province, where Puerto Viejo is located, than any other place in Costa Rica. Everywhere you go, you see beautiful Black and brown faces. You hear reggae music everywhere. And the local cuisine, Caribbean inspired. We're talking about Caribbean flavors, coconut infused, rice and beans, massive amounts of seafood everywhere. And actually, one of my favorite dishes was this seafood soup I had at a local mom and pop restaurant called Soda Beraca. It was amazing. And so when you think about all those Afro-Caribbean vibes, it just makes you feel so at home. As a Black woman, I felt so appreciated, so celebrated, so valued, and so welcome walking around in this skin. And I just love that for us. Number 2, you can use your US dollars and your English. As I mentioned, there's a very strong Afro-Caribbean presence there. That means that most locals there speak English. Also, there's a lot of tourism happening there. So most tourists and expats, most of them speak English as well. So if you don't speak any Spanish or your Spanish is no bueno, then you'll be just fine. Also, US dollars are accepted everywhere along with the local currency, which is colones. So with your US dollars and your English, you'll be totally fine and you'll get by very easily. And number 3, the super laid back and relaxed vibe. Now, I know they say that about a lot of places, but in this case, it's really, really true. Most people don't even wear a watch. Time is a loose construct. Most people are barely on their phones. If anything, they're using it to take pictures and videos. You barely see a TV screen. People are not tuned into the news. Nobody's talking about current events. People are just chilling, straight chilling. I love it. And number 4 on my list of 7 things you might not expect when you visit Puerto Viejo, Costa Rica is the tight-knit local community. Now, it's a small town, so if you stay there for more than 2 weeks, people will get to know you, you'll get to know them, you'll see the same familiar faces over and over again. A simple trip to the grocery store, you'll see 7 people that you know, and you'll stop and chat and before you even get back to your place. So in that way, it feels like a very family environment. You'll instantly feel part of the community, and everywhere you go, people will know your name. But the not so great part about that is everywhere you go, people will know your name. So bear that in mind as you mix and mingle and interact with the community. So number 5 on my list, wildlife encounters. Okay, don't be scared. So Puerto is this really interesting, beautiful mix of beach and jungle. And it's absolutely magical the way those 2 things come together. And all around you is wildlife. And it's almost like they're integrated into the community. It's not uncommon to just be walking down the street and see a sloth just inching across the road, or hearing something up above and you look up and you see a family of monkeys in a tree just looking down at you. One time while I was there, I was in my favorite dress shop Luna Mai, spending money I had no business spending, but that's another story. And this beautiful monarch butterfly, blue monarch butterfly, comes in, circles me, and lands on the cutest little dress. And it was just such a beautiful, unexpected moment. And so that's why I say wildlife encounters are not uncommon, and it's one of the things that make Puerto really special. Number 6, tuk-tuks and bikes rule the roads. In fact, there are more tuk-tuks, motorbikes, and bicycles on the road than there are cars sometimes, and that is the primary way that people get around. In fact, the tuk-tuks are super cheap. They're about $3 per ride, depending on where you're going. And my favorite mode of transportation is the bicycle. I rode everywhere. My favorite thing to do was ride to the beach, pull that bike right up to the beach, drag it across the sand, and jump in the water. And the 7th and last thing you might not expect when you visit Puerto Viejo, Costa Rica, is the nightlife. Girl, the nightlife. Now, I know that is something that you hear about Puerto a lot. And in fact, tourists come from all over Costa Rica and all over the world just for the nightlife. But this nightlife is next level. I mean, every night of the week, there is something happening at a beach bar, at a beach club, or just on the beach. And it's not hard to find out what's hot on any particular night, because if you go out during the day in the town, everybody's talking about it. And if you don't hear people talking about it, just ask somebody. People would be more than happy to tell you. And there are some amazing nightclubs there. Like I said earlier, tons of reggae music and all kinds of Caribbean inspired music. One of my favorite spots is a club called Chaman. It's also a restaurant, and every Sunday night they have an Afrobeats DJ and sometimes live performances, and it's always a vibe. So if you happen to go on a Sunday night, make sure you tell them Marlie sent you. And that's it for my list of 7 things you might not expect when you visit Puerto Viejo, Costa Rica. If you learned anything from this video, please be sure to let me know in the comments. Let's keep the dialogue going. And if you've been to Puerto Viejo and there's something that I didn't mention, be sure to let me know in the comments as well. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when I drop my next video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Marlie, and as they say in Costa Rica, pura vida. Bam.